Alright, I'm back. Bear with me. Okay, so let's just sort this out real quick. I just restarted, so yeah. Right. Bear with me a second. So yeah, another controversial title there, but we'll get into that in a sec. Yeah. Bear with me a second. Are you subbed? Yes. No, I will now start poll. It's done now. Right. Okay, so we're back and yeah. Let's see how that goes this time, but so yeah, just some people get kind of triggered, but it's just I think we should be able to have these discussions really. But I just think it's kind of mad that people would think a living God that would allow suffering, and I don't know. What do you guys think? Because someone tried to explain it yesterday, and it just didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, right? They were saying, "Oh, it's because we need to," I don't know. It's just I would have thought that if I was God, I would do something better than what we have personally. Like there would be no suffering, there would be no evil, there would be no. I do hit the gym. What you on about? Like a whale. I'm probably bigger than you, so. Hello, how doing, tutors? How you doing? Yeah, I don't care, if I'm gonna start it again, but if people get triggered, that's their problem, isn't it? Oh, Chicago. Oh, cool. Welcome in here. Nice to meet you all. Right. So yeah, if anyone's new here, please subscribe to the channel. But we'll talk a bit about that and then we'll talk about some other stuff. But it's just, you know, would you say, would you make pot noodles taste better? Pot noodles are kind of shit. I don't know. I remember at one time they used to be all right, but then they changed the flavors or something, and then they just, I don't know, it's probably the ingredients or something. But yeah. Um, hello, Ooga Booga. How you doing? Hello, Mr. Mark. How you doing today, everybody? I hope you're all well. Um, yeah, yeah. Welcome in. Hope you're having a great day, everybody. Share this out if you can. Subscribe if you're new here. So basically, yeah, I feel like religion's was used a control mechanism. Hello, Mike. Less noodles, more plastic, probably. Actually, plastic's really bad, isn't it? All the microplastics and stuff. So what people argue is that, oh, God didn't cause the suffering, humans caused the suffering. He gave us free will. So he gave us free will to inflict pain on others. Doesn't that not make him bad then? Because you could argue then that the devil isn't bad then because he's being allowed to do that then. If God's allowing evil and not stopping it, then therefore he's just as bad. It's like, for example, you allowing you say, "Oh, you go ahead, do what you want to do. Go and, if you tell someone to go and do bad things and then they do it, then does that not make you as bad as them or something like that?" I don't know. It's just, why would you give people the permission to have free will just to then punish them? Because I just, it doesn't really make any sense to me. Like, oh, but they need to be taught morality or whatever. But like, why would you, as a living God, do this knowing that you would condemn probably half of the population to hell? Like, it doesn't really make any sense to me. I don't know. I don't want no one. Okay, good luck to you, Jill. Yeah, hope it goes well. Anyway, yeah, hope you're having a great day, everybody. Share the live, subscribe if you're new. I just don't understand it. Why would a loving creator do this? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why? Why would they? Although Juliet, because if he's going to allow evil because of free will, then therefore why then punish the devil if you're just as bad as yourself because you're allowing it? It's just, am I blocked still? I didn't block you, did I? I don't think I blocked you, did I, Sadie? So yeah, I'm just wondering what, because like some of the stuff doesn't really make any sense. Like why are people saying stuff like, oh, like, well, it gives everyone free will, but why would you give absolute free will if you know that some people are going to abuse it? Thank you for the follow, Prima. But it's like, oh well, because that way we don't know if people are good people or whatever. It's like, I just don't get it. I don't, Asher. Am I a basketball player? I'm not, no. Oh, well, we need evil in order for there to be good. I just, I don't get it. Like, if you're a god, if you're an all powerful god, surely you can do better than this. Why do people need to suffer? Now, of course, pain is something that can be like a way of knowing when something's going wrong, but why make people suffer in agony? Like, there's people who have chronic health conditions. What the fuck is the need for all of that, They're suffering for no reason, and then they're told that if they want to, like, put an end to it all, that is a sin or some BS like that. Why make them suffer through all that? I don't get it. Like, why make people suffer like that? There's a difference between pain and suffering, right? Pain is like a temporary thing that you feel to, like, they'll kind of, it's like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't do that. Like, you electrocute yourself. That's a warning that that's bad for you. But to make people go through suffering, through chronic health problems and shit like that, that's no fault of their own. Like, what kind of psychopath would actually allow that? You know? But who the fuck would do that? How does making people suffer build gratefulness? Bull fucking shit. You know? Like, there's people who suffer every day. You know? What kind of sadistic monster would do that? You know? And if I offend people, so be it, that's just my opinion. I just don't believe in all this religion BS, because it just doesn't make any sense. That there's just too many holes for me that, you know? Yeah, but what about the people in that situation? Do you not give a fuck about the people in that situation then? What about people who are, you know, dying of starvation, or some of them deal with starvation for many, many years, struggling to get a bit of food, people having to drink dirty water every day. Like, what is the point of all that? You know? Rose says, my grandfather died from a chronic illness. Yeah, what was that? That's sorry to hear about that. RIP. It's just like, I just don't understand why people would want to believe in something like that, want to worship a god like that. I mean, come on, like, so you're, why does he not put an end to the suffering in, say, like Africa, for example, or any other place where they're unfortunate? People with chronic health problems. What about people with fibromyalgia and other conditions where they are chronically suffering? There's people with chronic pain. There's people with chronic fatigue. Like, some of these people just have no life. And people would tell me, "Oh, well, it's just God's plan. He's got some kind of plan or whatever." God, Donald, I know you. What me? Oh, God. Hmm. I just don't get it. Like, what kind of sadistic God would have, thought that was good or something? Of course, I could. Children with cancer is not okay, but I am so grateful to have what I have. Even disabled people are grateful they are staying, and starving people are grateful and of not being disabled. But still, I just don't understand like why there's a need for pain and suffering. You know? Hello, YouTube. I get what you're saying, but like, it's a pretty effed up world. I would say that. Why does there need to be any of that for us to be grateful? A lot of people like to kind of be like, oh, well, there's somebody worse off than me, kind of thing. It's that mentality of like, that in order to be grateful, that you need to have somebody doing worse than you in some way. That sounds kind of like effed up. I don't know. Hello, Rachel. How you doing? It's not going to be like this forever, but why does it have to be that way at all? Is what I'm saying. Why make this reality like this at all? Hello, Aldrian Gross. How you doing? Diego said it is, man. I wholeheartedly agree. I don't know. I just hear a lot of like mental gymnastics and stuff trying to justify it all. I don't know. But maybe I just don't understand it because I'm not God, I guess. That's what they'll say is that, oh, because you're not God, you don't understand it. God's got a plan and you don't understand it. Hello, thank you for the follow, whoever that is. You know? I'm just trying to understand where people are coming from because so far I just haven't really heard a convincing argument as to why a loving God that's all powerful, that can basically do anything because infinite power, would allow such things to happen. Hello, Nessa. Now they're going about the free will argument, and he's given the devil dominion over the earth, whatever the hell. I mean, like, why would you do that? I mean, doesn't that make you just as bad for doing that? Or is he not as powerful as he supposedly is? I mean, because it just all sounds contradicting to me. How is he all powerful, but yet he can't stop the devil from doing what he does? Or is it because he chooses not to because he's the devil himself? I mean, how about that? Like I said the other day, what if the God is actually the devil? You know, that's what I've been thinking. Of the God of the Bible, what if he actually is the devil? I mean, I can't convince you. You need to look for yourself if you want it. Well, that's the thing, right? The thing is, a lot of religious people try and push their beliefs onto people. So, I push back against religion because I see it as a control mechanism. I see it as a, you know, way of trying to kind of, you know, hello, Zaiti, you have to follow certain commandments and whatever, blah, blah, blah. I mean, all right, Trident, but I get that, but it's like, if God is infinite, then would there not be a reality where that doesn't need to be the case? Why not just have infinite kind of bliss and just kind of be happy? Why do we need to have evil constantly happen in order to have that? You know? Does there need to be constantly shit going bad? You know? Does there need to be all of this suffering? It just isn't. Yeah, that's the timeline. I don't like religion. Oh, fair enough. So, like, why does evil need to constantly take place in order for good to happen? You know? I just don't get it. Like, I understand this whole duality argument, but like, if there's just as much evil as good, then does that not just cancel it out? Because I was thinking about this. If there needs to be just as much bad as there is good, then what is the point to life even? Like, if I was told that in order to live, I had to face, just as much pain as pleasure, I wouldn't even bother. It's not worth it, you know? So that, yeah, Neil Pixel says maybe to teach us how it feels when bad stuff happens to you so you don't do it. Yeah, but there's just so much bad stuff happening that I'm thinking like why does it have to be that way? Why have people suffering for their whole life? There's people with chronic pain, for example, you know? Who the hell wants to live like that? People wouldn't be grateful in it's humans' free will just like other species. I'm not religious either, though. I believe a form of pantheism, but humans cause their own demise natural cataclysms is different, though, I guess. Yeah, but I'm like, why would God allow natural cataclysms to happen then to have people in all kind of city situations that are, yeah. I don't know. It's just fucked. I don't know. It's just you start thinking about the world is just like you think to yourself, if there's a God, couldn't he not have done something better than this? But hard to say, brother. I agree with you. Yeah, it's just really. I don't know. There's a lot of mess going on. Hello, one dark rep. How you doing? I saw you put comments on my video. You was talking about rep ranges and stuff like that. I mean, there doesn't seem to be a consensus on rep ranges. I mean, from what I understand, like there's quite a wide range of rep ranges that are beneficial for hypertrophy. That the main thing is intensity and yeah, and volume. That's the main driver basically. As long as you're hitting target muscles and stuff like that, then yeah, and you're doing everything right, then it should work. God is personal, not global per se. I mean, what if God is all of us? How about that? Hello, effectual. You're speaking on the minority of people. Most people are happy enough. I mean, a lot of people think they're happy, but like, I don't know. But even if there is a minority of people, why don't we kind of care about that? Like, there's a lot of people that are just kind of like, they have this like ignorant bliss kind of thing where it's like they'll just be slurping on the champagne and just think that the world is great, but there's all this evil going on, and they're just sat in their ivory towers and they don't give a damn, because they're privileged and I think sometimes people are just about privileged enough to where they don't really care about things, kind of thing. Hello, Santi, how you doing? Like people are given just enough privilege and luxury to not question the system, and because I think a lot of it's systemic problems and unfairness, people getting low wages in their jobs, people getting you know um, people getting exploited and all kinds of things, but people just accept that as some kind of, oh well, that's just the way it is, that's just the way the world is or something. And you know what's that, Aaron? What do you mean? I rule it all up. You mean you rule the world? Anyway, I hope everyone's having a good day today. I know this can get quite you know dark and kind of, but I just want to try and understand where people are coming from, really. But anyway, Neil says it really doesn't make sense that people who do cause a lot of harm have such easy lives and are rich. Yeah, a lot of them are just like living in paradise, and then it's like, why is it that they get to live like that, but yet you've got people suffering so much, and that's what I mean. It's just all a bit like we live in such an unfair, unjust world, like where you've got, like the poorest of people suffering, and then you've got rich who exploit others, and they get the most cushy lives or something. I'm not religious, no. Happiness depends on happenings. What do you mean? Happiness depends on happenings. Maybe I should make that into a T-shirt or something. I don't know. It sounds like a slogan or something. Happiness depends on happenings. Anyway, um, so what are you saying? Most rich people got so rich by exploiting innocent people. Exactly. It's like the shit rises to the top, doesn't it? You've got the certain people with like really, but then there is some that do end up getting what they deserve. Like, for example, like these clout chasers who do really bad things to get famous, and then they end up getting caught out. But unfortunately, a lot of them don't. A lot of them end up continuing. It's like, look at people like Mr. Beast, for example. He's been called out for some shady things, but yet will continue to, you know, kind of be like the biggest YouTuber, 400 odd million subs or whatever he has. Like, who the hell even subs? Unfortunately, a lot of children who are quite naive to a lot of shit. This is the thing, a lot of people get away with shit because their fan base is like gullible, and same with people like Logan Paul and all that. And it's like, they got caught up in some like controversies with like the whole prime hydration drink or whatever, and it's mostly a bunch of like potassium and shit, and it's like it's not even a properly formulated hydration drink. Do you believe this is simulation possible? I think there has to be a god or source, regardless of what people believe this reality is or religion they believe. Just different paths leading to the same source. I mean, yeah, it seems like people are afraid to go into more kind of scary or darker kind of thoughts about like, what if the person that created this is not an all loving creator? What if this is actually some kind of sick and twisted like experiment or something, you know? Um, Maybe because they work very hard every day. Yeah. There's people who work hard every day and get exploited, you know? Hello, Santi. How you doing? Hope you're doing well today. People who get the short end of the stick, it's just reality can be quite a brutal thing at times. The Duke and Prince of Kent, what's that? What are you talking? I have the oh god, Freemasons. I've heard is like one of these societies where they are like elitists, and well, at least at certain levels they can become quite corrupt. And yeah, not talking about lower level Masons. I've heard degrees 1, 2, and 3 are okay, but then above that, that's where they start to become like the secret societies and stuff. I mean, that's if you believe in all like the conspiracy theories and stuff, where there's like a more kind of exclusive group of them or something like that. And you know what I mean? It's like people don't realize how deep the control goes, the elites and all that stuff. If a God exists, I feel like he is just neutral. Bad things get done by bad humans, and good things are done by good humans. Well, whatever it is, I don't think is an all loving creator, you know, is what I'm saying. Like, I have experienced the unconditional love of God, and I realize I can't base truth on my upbringing. But how do you know that? I don't know. But if that's what you want to believe, then I'm not going to argue with that. But, you know, I don't really experience unconditional love from a God. My life does not suggest that to me. I don't feel it. I don't feel that there's this all loving creator that's giving me unconditional love. The universe is too perfectly balanced to not have a creator. If we were a little closer to the sun, we'll die. A little further, we'll freeze. Well, some say that we live in a multiverse, so anything that can happen will happen, kind of thing. And I don't know what to believe really, but in a multiverse, there's like infinite possibilities, and we just happen to be in the universe where there is that. and it can happen, even if it's a 1 in a billion or 1 in a trillion chance of it happening. In some universe, there is that, like Goldilocks zone, if you get me. But I know some people might disagree with that and say that that's BS or whatever. But some Masonic groups put curses on people, and it is very prevalent apparently. But most Masons are unaware of this, right? Um, but brilliant, 99th genius. What's 99th genius? What do you mean, 99th genius? I don't know what that is. The Quran says the universe is expanding. What's it expanding into, though? I don't know. Like, I hear people say about the universe expanding, but what's it expanding into? Because what's at the end of the universe? Is there an end to the universe? Like, what goes on? Is it just a void or something, or what? What do you think happens at the end of the universe? Do you just come back to where you started, like Pac-Man? So I've heard that theory before, like Pac-Man, where it's like the universe just restarts or something. Would that imply that maybe it's a simulation then? I don't know. Because how could you have that without some kind of simulation, unless it's some kind of other dimension or something going on? That how would you come back to where you started? Because I remember that, Pac-Man theory or something that, I don't know. It's yeah. Okay, here we go. There's two religions: you work for salvation, or you accept Jesus, pay for your sin, and accept it as a gift. I'm never going to be good enough for heaven on my own merit. Oh, really? Why not? Um, Human beings can't comprehend these things. Just give up already. What? Yes, exactly like Pac-Man, lol. Really? The Quran also says we not from the rib, the earth is flat, and Muhammad split the moon. Really? Yeah, there's people actually believe in the flat earth theory still, believe it or not. Hello, Gareth. How you doing? I hope you're well. Yeah, there's people who believe that the earth is actually flat. Um, does anyone actually believe that? If so, why do you believe that? Kat says the Aya says the guy saw the sun getting beneath the puddle, like how all humans see the sun setting under the horizon. Yeah, that would suggest that the Earth is not flat then, because how can the sun go below the horizon on the flat Earth? You know, like, it doesn't make sense, really, does it? Like if the sun, if it was actually flat, then it would not see the sunset the way that it does. Yeah. Um. Anyway, I hope you're all having a good day today, people. And also that the moon wasn't tidally locked to Earth a long time ago, so we saw both sides in the past. Oh, really? Pac-Man chasing dots, scared of ghosts. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Pac-Man. Yeah. Anyway, din 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 din. The Pac-Man theme. Yeah. Anyway, hope you're all doing well today. Shanti, thank you for the likes. How are you doing today? Hope you're well. Sadie says, because I broke God's laws, every one of them, but Jesus paid my debt, and I asked him to forgive me and save me. Oh, really? Hello, Shanti. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Welcome in here, everybody. But why do you have to ask them to save you, though? Why don't they just save you? If they want to save you, why don't they just do it? Like, I don't really get it. It's just, if you want to save me, just fucking save me then, just, I don't know. Hope you're all having a good day. Okay. Hello, Yogi. How you doing? You okay? I mean, you're probably going to have your own opinions on this stuff, right? On the whole kind of like religion type of stuff, really. Like like you're probably gonna say like that. Yeah, actually, the Quran says the Earth rotates around the sun. Does it really? I've never read it, so. Oh, really, James? Well, that's good because I'm not a robot. Well, that's good then. Yeah, I didn't think you was a robot. I mean, um, yeah, make sure you subscribe if you're new here. There can't be just one singular, all-powerful being. The world is way too subjective for that. What do you mean? Are you saying that I was talking about pantheism? Someone talking about pantheism, like having multiple gods or something? Yeah. How would that work? Is that some kind of like Anunnaki sort of stuff or something like that? I mean, Yogi says I'm good. That's good then. Yeah. Hello, train wrecked. Smoking weed and drink coffee. Good morning, everybody. How you doing, train wrecked? What's your name? I hope you're well today. If you're new here, please give me a follow. That would be really appreciated. Thank you. Um, don't know what Quran you've been reading, but the one that's debated by Islamic scholars and others all state the Earth is flat, and it's been proven wrong. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's obviously. Hello, Tara. Good to see you. How are you doing today? Hope you well. It's too perfect to not have a creator. Well, what if we're in like a multiverse and every possibility can happen? So I don't know. Like we don't know we don't understand fully about the reality. So I don't think we should necessarily have to assume a creator because if there is a creator, then where is he? Where is this creator? Like I don't see a creator. Like as far as I'm aware, I was created by my mum and dad. That's my creator. My mum and dad, and then their mum and dad created them, and their mum and dad created them, and it goes on and on. You know, as far as I'm aware, that's all that happens. Is just you have. I get the world is messed up. Why did Jesus die? No, no. Thank you for subbing. I take care, Neo. You too, Jamie. We're all good over here. Thanks for asking. That's good then. Yeah, yeah. Who's we? You got somebody else there as well. Hi, Tori. Hi, Doris. I'm doing fine, thank you. How you doing, Doris? Hope you well. You're your own invention. What do you mean your own invention? You're talking about like we can invent ourselves. Who pushed the first domino? Well, maybe there's that theory that there is no beginning, and it's kind of like if you think in terms of like infinity, then there is no beginning. Oh, you little boy. Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. So like, what if there is no beginning? You know, how about that? And you might say, well, there has to be a beginning, but what if time is something that is beyond? It's not like a linear thing, basically. I don't know. Or some people in science believe that consciousness is just something that emerged. I don't know if I believe that, but there's a lot of theories on it. Is what I'm saying. I don't know. It's called. I can tell just by looking at your eyes, but there's not much going on inside. Doesn't sound like there's much going on with you, really. Hello, Charlie. How you doing? I hope you well. If the Big Bang is true, then there is a beginning. Who made the Big Bang? Well, maybe the Big Bang made itself. I don't know. Does it have to have a creator? I don't know. There are 265K people watching iShow Speed Live. I don't care. The Big Bang has a beginning, but you're assuming that there's a creator that created the Big Bang or something. What if the Big Bang is just something that kind of just happened? I don't know. Who even knows if there even was a Big Bang? I mean, I guess that's something that scientists have kind of, theorized and stuff. The thing is that we don't even know did anything happen before the Big Bang? Hello, Carol. How you doing? There's all kinds of theories. There's all kinds of speculations and stuff. Some people believe that we go through cycles of Big Bang and Big Crunch. You know, Like there's all sorts of different theories on science, and there is no like necessarily a consensus on it. Hope you're doing well, everybody. Anyway, well, who is the designer? I don't see the designer, but I just don't really buy into like this idea that there's this all living creator anyway. I mean, if someone created this, I think it's somebody who's, you know, not necessarily good. Hi, David. How you doing? But who is God, though? Um, like some would say, it's just like infinite regression, and that there's like basically like infinite consciousness, and it's just kind of you could go back forever, and there's because what kind of magical being just created it all? Aliens, yeah, maybe I don't know. Like you could just go on forever, then because then you could be like, well, who created God? You know, if we all had to have a creator, then why doesn't God have to have a creator then? You know, well, saying it's a higher entity, but then who created God then? Why doesn't God have to have a creator? If you've seen Christ, would you even know him? Well, how would I know? I mean, because according to you guys, God is something that is beyond our comprehension. But then it just sounds like it's just an excuse because they can't prove it. They can't prove it, so they just have to try and do a bunch of mental gymnastics or something. The thing is, nobody knows really what is going on. I don't think we have all the answers. A lot of things that don't add up in this world. Like, because someone was saying how people used to think that cancer has something to do with ghosts or something like that or whatever, but it was that people had different theories until a more reasonable theory would come out. So yeah, hi Louise, welcome back. He is time itself. What do you mean? How can time be a creator? Time is like a measure of, it's just a measure. Time is a measure, not a creator, is it? I mean, he's in another dimension. So you're just gonna like invoke a bunch of like abstract concepts or something. I don't know, because that's what oftentimes happens with yeah, Jenilyn. How you doing? A higher entity would not need a creator if always existed. We have no idea, but a higher entity is more likely if we just do mathematical probability. I mean, like, so you're saying it always existed. How could it have always existed then or something? Hello, Derek. I don't know. It all just sounds. Yeah, I know it's uncontrolled cells. Yeah, it's basically like cells dividing uncontrollably. So yeah. Um. Anyway, what's that? Jesus is good. Follow him, and you'll be happy. I can assure you. Oh, really? I don't know about that. I mean, it just sounds like the God of the Bible sounds evil to me. Not something I'd want to worship. Like a God that is needs worship, otherwise won't save you, and all that kind of stuff is not a God that I would want to worship. It's just, I just find there's contradictions with the whole idea of God is all loving and whatever. Derek says, I find it funny when people make concrete statements like they have any idea how the universe works. I mean, yeah, we don't understand how the universe works, and that's why I don't just believe in some magical creator that truth is none of us have a goddamn clue. No pun intended there. So what I'd say is that we should just kind of try and keep an open mind, I think, but everyone's got their own simple concept to understand. No God, then we are random meatballs. I will take view there is a higher entity that we call God gives us purpose and reason for universe, not based on religion. It just sounds like that's more like wishful thinking or something in that case. It's like when people want there to be like an afterlife or something, and everything's just theory. Yeah, like people want that. I understand that people would turn to religion because, especially when they're getting close to death, where it's like they want there to be that because it gives them comfort. I think that's why a lot of people end up turning to religion later on in life because it gives them a sense of like, well, at least I can have afterlife. Especially when they start to suffer and get old. So it might give them some sense of comfort, but you know, so yeah, if that gives you comfort, then I'm not gonna like argue with that. If you can believe that, and you know what I mean. But I just like to kind of understand where people are coming from, and yeah, the thing is, this reality can be quite confusing, and oftentimes it just doesn't really make any sense. It's like you think deep enough about it, and you're just like, what the hell is going on here? Religion is the greatest form of mind control. Yeah, I agree. Like, yeah, with the whole threatening people of hell and stuff like that, I think is a very yeah, to scare people and into submission. Not really. We're here as Homo sapiens. We have all DNA linked to first living cell, not necessarily after life, but the life we live now. Right. We have no idea if or not what afterlife is. Yeah. In the universe, all small stuff rotate around something bigger. The galaxies rotate around the middle, and so do atoms and planets. Humans rotate around God. Well, they say like, was it as above, so below, and all that kind of thing. If God is good, uh, okay, we can just get rid of that one, right? We don't need that in here. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing well today. Um, yeah. It's not quite as busy, I don't think, as it was yesterday, but it's still had quite a few in. Anyway, hi history, how you doing? You okay? Hope all is well. Kat says Islam is the truth. Well, it may be to you. History says I'm good, thanks. That's good then. Yeah, you're Hannah, aren't you? I'm all right, thank you. Are you still planning on coming over? You said you was coming over to York or something. What do you mean? Do I have an ex? Why, Mon? Yeah, Hannah, yeah, in May, yeah. Oh, cool. If there's no God or higher entity, think what is the purpose of the universe and purpose of your own existence as you live? Well, some people believe there is no inherent purpose to it, that we just kind of make our own purpose, but I don't know. It's all a kind of well, some people believe that there's a spiritual purpose, but that doesn't nece- necessarily mean that there's a God that created it all, but maybe consciousness is a natural phenomenon that maybe it's just where we go from life to life or something and we learn and grow or something. I don't know. But then if we do have like say reincarnation or something like that, then we don't necessarily remember past lives or something. But for some reason, your life the last few days as the lot of in Islam questions. Yeah, a lot of people have been kind of like religious and stuff. And hello, Francisco, how you doing? Tiger says, when death is approaching and you are suffering, I guess everyone prays openly or quietly for relief. Yeah, I know, because it's not a good time in your life when you're getting close to the end. Like imagine you're on your deathbed or something, and you're gonna be hoping that there's something better after all that. That you know. I think we have a purpose: preserve the earth, explore the universe, colonize the universe, be the best we can be, expand knowledge. Okay, fair enough. Um, but yeah. All right. Kat says true. I think when people say Christ will return, I think it's not going to be what they think it will be. It won't be some physical being that will be resurrected. Rather, it will be our collective consciousness reaching a higher level state called Christ consciousness. If you don't know what that is, look at. Yeah, I've heard about that, Derek. Yeah, I was actually thinking about this the other day about the whole thing of Christ consciousness and the whole thing of the whole kind of death and resurrection thing that it could be talking about on like an individual level of people, kind of, or it could be talked about on a collective level as well of Christ consciousness and how somebody can have some kind of spiritual awakening, possibly, or whether it's literally like a spiritual thing or if it's just some kind of conscious shift or something where they go from being in a state of fear. Hello, Elvin. How you doing? State of fear to a state of, kind of a more kind of, you know what I mean, a more sort of what do they call it? A more sort of state of gratitude and more positivity, basically things like that. So I've been struggling with trying to just stay positive and stuff, and oftentimes a lot of my emotions can be based on external things, and I need to try and stop that, and I'm trying my best to, but sometimes yeah, growth, how you doing? Oh really, I don't know who that is. Alvin says, looking out from my window into the sea, San Francisco Bay Area. Oh yeah. Pastor says nature puts a filter on your mind so we don't remember. Okay, remember what's that? You mean remember past lives or something like that, or what do you mean? Like, there's people that claim to have like past life recollections and stuff like that. So yeah, health is the next wealth of 2026. Netflix stocks, Tesla stocks, gold, Waymo stocks, etc. Bay Area Kings activities. All right. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day anyway. Share this out if you can. Hello, Helen. How you doing? I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, but yeah. Hope you're all well anyway. It's raining here, or is it? I don't think it's raining here. It's just dull. Where are you from again? You're down south, aren't you, isn't it? What was it? Hampshire or something, if I remember? Or Kent? Yeah. I know it was down south, but yeah, Kent is yeah, it's supposed to be quite nice, isn't it? Kent. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, this religious stuff can be quite hello, okay, para Eric. Well, currently I'm just talking about, why would God create all this suffering or allow all this suffering? So just kind of try to create some kind of debate on that really, but yeah, trying to understand where people are coming from with all that. Like I try to focus on positivity but the thing is, I'm not like, gonna rely on some God to save me or whatever like that, because I don't believe there's such a thing that is in like some kind of God or Jesus Christ or whatever that's just gonna come and save me. I think it's up to you to save yourself is how I see it. Yeah, I'm on the nice side, luckily. Oh, that's good then. Yeah, I guess there's some bad parts of it as well. Um, Level up, man. What do you mean? Um, okay, maybe we can just get rid of that. Suffering is a test. How we react to life is the meaning of worship. It gives a clear goal and direction. So God puts you through suffering to test how you worship. That sounds like a narcissist to me. Like trying to put you through a bunch of like bullshit to see if you'll still worship them. I don't know. It just sounds. Hello, Sophie. How you doing? Sounds kind of effed up to me, really. But I think God, Mother Nature, Allah, etc. is the same thing, really. What do you think it is then? What are you trying to say with that then? Anyway, James Gordon, how you doing? Being kind is worship. Okay. So if you don't believe in God and you're kind, is that still considered okay? Because what if you don't believe in God but you try and be a good person? Hello, Elise. I mean, is that sufficient? Is what I'm saying. Yeah, I talk about different subjects. Yeah, I try and keep it kind of fresh and stuff. But yeah, anyway, being kind and giving charity, being patient and open, strong-hearted is the best worship in Islam. Or is it? Everyone has their own thing they pray to, right? Yeah, yeah. Thank you for the follow, Nick. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. Taurus says it is. What's that? In about the worship or something? What we're talking about? Sorry, I'm kind of getting a bit lost here, but yeah, I was thinking I'm gonna be getting off shortly, but I can keep one of the lives going or something. Like I could keep the TikTok thing going for a bit, but I would have to like knock the YouTube one off because I'd have to go out and I can only use one of my devices. So yeah, but I don't know. It's just everyone's got their own thing that they worship. Everyone's or they pray to whatever, and some people just pray to the universe. Even it's like a so obviously you have to like respect each other's beliefs and stuff because everyone's got their own. But sometimes I like to just pick at people's brains, try to understand where they're coming from. Because if you're not willing to challenge your beliefs, then that means that you're a dogmatist. And I don't think it's healthy to just be a dogmatist. You have to try and understand why you believe what you believe and be able to defend it when you challenge it, or it's not a very secure belief, then is it? If you're not willing to have it questioned. Well, that's what I think anyway, but you know what I mean? Like we have to be willing to question everything, like our beliefs, our presumptions about things. Yeah. Anyway, so I hope you're all having a good day today, people. Anyway, thank you for the follow, Jane. How you doing, Jane? Hope you're well. Yeah. What are your plans for this afternoon, everybody? Where am I based? I'm based in the UK. I'm in York, in the UK. If to be more specific. Yeah. What about you? I've got 11 on TikTok. Cool. We've got 8 on YouTube. So, yeah. Your thoughts on free will? I mean, I've thought about this before that because if we believe that our brain chemistry and stuff like that can influence our thought processes and stuff, then do we really have free will then? Because of how much our environment and our brain can influence that. Although it's driving a lot of times we don't really have much free will, it seems, because of all the influences around us. That our thoughts are based on whatever's going on in that moment. Hello, Ashbid. How are you doing? I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you doing? Thank you for the follow. It's Dravany. Free will is good within reason. Yeah, but then sometimes people abuse it. Hi, Top G. All right, Top G. How you doing? I'm Andrew Tate. What colour's your Bugatti? I love myself. I'm top G. I'm the greatest. I'm doing all right. Can't complain another day now. Fair enough. Where are you from, by the way? Anyway, yeah. If anyone's new here, please subscribe. Please follow. That would be really appreciated. Yeah. Tap your screens up, people. Oh, US. Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, US. US of A, man. I'm from like the US of A. It's so awesome. So awesome to have you here, all you dope ass people. So cool, man. Hello, Rai. Rai Charles. Yeah, I'm in prison. Yeah, I'm in prison right now. Of course. Yeah, are we all right, everybody? I wish I could travel to other places. Yeah, I've traveled to France and Spain before. Where's everybody traveled to? Have you traveled far out? Anybody, you know? I could get my aviator sunglasses. Well, they're kind of like aviators. If I want to do the top G impression, and I'll do like the. I'm Andrew Tate. I'm top G. I have 30 Bugattis. They're all like $1 million. So I have like $30 million of Bugattis. I also have like 50 Lambos, 40 McLarens. Um, and you can all have that if you join my real world university. You learn how to become a top G. Do I box? No, I beatbox. Hi, Ibrahim. How you doing? Hope you're doing well today. There you go, Donald Trump. Hello, Rana. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Neo says I just come back to the stream and the first thing I saw is this. Yeah. I was doing my mouth talk thing as well before watch. You've done that Hustlers University crap. It doesn't work. Oh, really? You've done it, have you? Oh, goodness. Never been outside the US before. Oh, really? Yeah, I've only heard a few people actually benefited from the Hustlers University thing, but hello, Vedant. How you doing? I hope you become viral. Oh, thank you, Jogo. I hope so too. Ibrahim says, big fan of whatever's wrong with you. What the hell? What are you on about? Could you box stick, Paul? Probably not. I don't really. I'm not really a boxer. Hello, Pajit. How you doing? Hope you well. I'm not racist. What you on about? What the hell? Who? Who's saying? What are you going about? Well, let's not call people racist in here, guys. You know, that's not very nice, is it? Just get rid of any of that crap. You know, it's just let's be respectful in the chat, okay? We don't just like throw out things like that, do we? You know. Anyway, it's kind of a bit crazy in here, isn't it? We are just normal, so it seems weird. What do you mean? I guess I'm weird, but like, you know, I kind of like own it, you know. So what if I'm weird, you know? Being weird can be good. What experiences or realizations led you away from Christianity or religion in general? I just feel like, hello, Caitlin, how you doing? I'm all right, thank you. How are you? I just feel like the world is a very dark place, and just the fact that I just don't feel like there's any real scientific proof that there's such a thing of it as well. Um, Hi Jordan, how you doing? I hope you are. What's the name of the flag? I'm not 100% sure. No, I don't know what that is. Sorry. Yeah, what flag is that? Weird. No superpower. What are you saying? Well, it can be a superpower in certain situations, I guess. I mean, if you're just a normie and just kind of like a conformist, then I just say that you're just like an NPC bot, you know? All you haters are just NPC bots. You all say that I'm a scammer and I'm a grifter and you're all bots. You're all broke. What color is your Bugatti? You ain't got one. You're broke. You're poor. We're all weird. Better than being a boring normal person. Exactly. Being boring, in my opinion, is sorry. Being normal is boring. Hi, Price. How you doing? Adrenaline is a superpower when needed. Yeah. Thank you, Tara. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So Hustlers University. Yeah, someone I know actually tried it, but he's just like a dreamer. He's one of these, oh, just dream and manifest, just dream of a great reality where you're a millionaire and all this stuff. Yeah, do on with that crap. Oh, you're like Tate, dude. Hello, Pfizer. How many subscribers do you think you'll have by 2030? I don't know. We're not even far through 2026 yet. Who the hell knows? You know? Hopefully millions. Who knows? But we'll see. I don't really like to think, too far ahead like that, really, because who the hell knows? But anyway, we're such beta males, and yes, we're all males because females are okay. Oh god. Glad I subscribed. I'll say, okay, thank you, Ice Wizard. Oh, thank you for coming back. He was probably growing plants. Who's growing plants? Talking about the green plants. Anyway, so yeah, so I got my Trump accessory look. Hello there, it's Donald J. Trump, and they say I wear a toupee. I don't wear a toupee. It's my real hair. It looks so fantastic. Yeah, who's still on the TikTok? Apparently, there's 13 people there. So I had to say hello if you're watching. Hello, Ricky. To be honest, it's not all BS. Getting a real job in. I mean, I think like the so-called real jobs are kind of oftentimes not very good for society. A lot of time, you're just kind of being a cog in a machine. Is that really something you want to be or something? Anyway, so let's see. Mark Travis. Oh yeah, the towel. It's like just a yellow cloth thing that I've got. But yeah, Andrew Tate made his money grifting ink wells and feeding off their loneliness. Also, he started off by pimping out a bunch of cam girls, and yet people look up to this guy as some kind of saint or something. I mean, get real, guys. You really think this guy is something to look up to? Like he's literally just like capitalizing off people's kind of insecurities and stuff. So I think deep down Andrew Tate is insecure himself. Now he has to prove himself so much that he's this alpha male and all this kind of crap, but deep down I don't think he really thinks that, does he? I watch your workout shorts. Oh yeah. Okay, thank you for watching my workouts. Hope everyone's having a good day today. Share this out if you can, please. That'd be really appreciated. Yeah, Tara, are you still there? Yeah. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. Hello, how are you? I'm all right, thank you, Lee. How are you doing today? Welcome in here. What are you up to today, everybody? Share the live if you can, please. Yeah. What's this? I did not vote for him because he is idle. I voted for him for policy. What you mean? Tara's still there. Cool. Top G says, yeah, true. My favorite show is Dora the Explorer. Oh, God. I actually saw that a bit as a kid. Did anyone ever watch Dora the Explorer? Oh, God. I remember it was on like the Nickelodeon, wasn't it? Yeah. How do you feel about self-sufficiency? My goal right now is to not have to go to the store for anything. People talk about how difficult it is to make something, but it does take some sacrifice. Yeah, true. I mean, that can be a good thing to try and do. I talked about it in a video yesterday about free food and like different ways of getting that. But living off grid can be like a good way to kind of yeah, not rely on the shops for things really, isn't it? If you can grow your own food and stuff. And it can take some upfront sacrifice, but then you literally get the fruits of your labor. That's what it is. You put the work in at the beginning, and then it's like it's a lot easier once you've got it all set up. It's just the beginning bit that can be a bit of a challenge, but then I'm waiting for my teenager to come visit me and doing housework, nothing too exciting her. Oh, fair enough. No one idolizes Tate now. I think whole red pill content is cringe now for majority of people. Yeah, yeah. Even the people that thought it was good for a while, they just kind of like, yeah. It's like Fresh and Fit is another one as well. Hello, Hog Cycle Gamer. What you on about? Anyway, so Peter, yeah, how you doing today? Anyway, make sure you subscribe if you're new here, people. That would be really appreciated. Um, yeah, on 4.11K, it's going up pretty fast. We're gonna like dominate this YouTube thing and everything. So yeah, just gotta keep grinding, day in day out. That's what we're gonna do. But yeah, just I think the thing that like the whole kind of fresh and fit's really cringe as well because it's like fresh and fit was saying like, oh, men should like curl less in a relationship. Like, how is that good advice to give? It's just going to turn men into these cold and just kind of all it's going to do is just make women be even more kind of bitter against men. It's just going to like create more and more divide between the sexes. It's just like I understand that there's some issues with like feminism and modern feminism, but then there's like but then what they're doing is retaliating in a way where they're just doing what the other side is guilty of in some cases. Now, I think, yeah, some parts of feminism can be good, like, the way that they got rights back in the day and stuff like that. But it's also like, yeah, both sides, I think, they have points, but then they can both go to the extreme where I thought they're all about equality, right? Having equality. There should be equality in relationships. There should be equality in marriage. There should be equality in things like, voting and whatever it might be. Even though I don't really believe in voting, to be honest, because I think it's all rigged anyway. But you know what I mean? Wages and stuff like that, that you shouldn't be discriminated against because of gender. Things like that, I agree with. It's just, I think a relationship should be 50-50. So anyone that's saying that a man should care less or a woman should care less, or even, that this, it's because some women will say, oh, we want a man who is more invested than I am. It's like, well, why would you want that? Is it so you can have leverage over them? So that's the thing. I wouldn't get tattoos now. So anyway, so yeah, we need balance. Yeah, exactly. So that's just what I'm saying is that some people who promote certain ideologies where they claim to be about fairness and all that, but yet it's like when some of these guys will say stuff like, oh, it's worse when women cheat or something like that. Well, no, cheating is bad regardless of who does it. Now, some people say, oh, it's because women cheat with their heart and men cheat with their dick or something like that. But I'm like, well, but they still cheated. They still mindfully cheated on their partner, which to me is just as bad because they broke that person's trust, and that therefore is just as bad. So yeah, I don't agree when these red pill guys say stuff like it's worse when women cheat. It's like they're trying to kind of justify men cheat. It's almost like they want to be able to be the ones to cheat and be players. I just think it's a really toxic ideology. So, Frederick, we just talk about all kinds of different things here. So, but yeah, we've kind of gone on to the whole kind of Tate and all that kind of bullshit now, and how Tate's this kind of not a good role model for anybody, really. What made you who you are now? Is there anything bad that has happened to you? Why are you asking that? You're a delusion if you think fairness is a desired. There will never be fairness. Well, if there isn't fairness, then I don't want it, basically, If I'm in a relationship and it's not balanced, then I don't want to be part of it. I'd rather be myself than feel like it's not fair. I mean, yeah, I understand that the world's not fair, but there should be at least fairness when it comes to like you with somebody in a partnership. It should be about 50-50, you know? Like you should both be trying to pull your weight in that relationship. If one side is has in leverage and power over the other, that's toxic, you know? And I'd rather be by myself than be in that situation. We're all humans in the end. Well, yeah, true. In the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. 'Cause in the end, it doesn't even matter. You see, Madison, I have this feeling. Could you tell us some of your stories? Why? I mean, Taurus is right. Yeah. So, like, I don't know. It's like some people just seem to be like, oh, well, the world isn't fair, therefore we just have to accept that some people are going to screw us over. No, not going to happen, you know? Relationship 101, compromise on both ends, plain and simple. Yeah, exactly, Mason. If one side isn't willing to compromise, then it's not worth it. If one side is having to pull all the weight of it, or most of the weight of it, then that's imbalanced. I think the problem is sometimes people will settle. You know, they'll settle for someone who isn't really that into them. It doesn't really appreciate them, and that's what happens. Maybe it's from a point of being desperate. If you can be not so desperate, then that way you can sort of find someone that's that is just as much into you as you're into them. So then they don't have power over you because when they see that you're really, really into them to a point where you're kind of desperate for them, and then that is not healthy. There needs to be a balance, is what I'm saying. People saying compromise, that's fair enough, but there has to be a standard for the relationship. If one goes against it, how do you compromise? Well, yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, you shouldn't have someone that's willing to like, break your boundaries or something or go I mean, you know what I mean? Hello, King God. Um Compromise goes both ways, exactly, yeah. Oh really? Thank you, Neo. Anyway, hope you're having a great day. Feel free to ask questions and stuff. Hope you're having a great day. Share this out if you can. Let's try and get some more people in the building. Hello, Cloudy. How you doing? Cloudy with a answer meatball. Wasn't that a film or something? We will lose the one who we love most. Yeah, I know. Anyway, yeah. The only things that are so basic you don't even have to argue about are human rights for everyone, and that pizza Hawaii is bad. Oh yeah, pineapple pizza. Well, some people would disagree with you. Some people would say that they love. I have to disagree. Pineapple on pizza is great. It tastes so great. So you're fake news. Hello, Wega. How you doing? What are your thoughts on dating apps? I think it's kind of deteriorating, but there are a few success stories. Yeah, I think I've heard Hinge is maybe one of the better ones, but most of them seem to be kind of yeah. Thank you for likes. Key to. I wouldn't vote for reform. No, I don't mind pineapple on pizza. Says Tara. Yeah, a lot of people hate it, and it's just one of those things. Oh, Indiana, it's like a Marmite thing, isn't it? You either love it or you hate it. I don't think I've ever had Marmite, so I wouldn't even know. But yeah, um, some people love it, some people hate it. Dating apps, no, yeah. I've heard a few people have met off Hinge, so maybe it's I don't know. Like you just have to be careful on these things. Be careful of who you're talking to because there is some dodgy people out there. Not everyone's genuine. A lot of people are not aware of how dark people can be, and yeah, people can take advantage of you and stuff like that. So last part is more of a joke. Everyone can have their own opinion as long as you don't hurt anyone. Yeah, exactly. None of this social stuff matters, to be honest. It is clear we are going to war soon. Maybe after it's finished, we can rebuild society better. What kind of war? I mean, hello. Yeah, K2, you all right? How you doing today, everybody? I hope you're all well. If anybody's new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That would be really appreciated. So, yeah, Cara, how you doing today? Hope all is well. Tap your screens up, everyone. Thank you very much. Um, right, Chappie, how you doing? You okay? 59 votes up to now on the poll. Right, I'm just checking that. So yeah, I'm doing fine, thank you, Chappie. How are you doing? You okay? Hello, Tumelo. How you doing? You can't even jump. I could probably jump higher than you, but yeah. Why is there so many people just being rude? I don't know. Probably because they're jealous. Maybe they're jealous. You or just miserable. UK going to Ukraine soil. I ain't going there. Hello, Esha. How you doing? Hope you well today. Welcome in. You okay? Hello there, Esha. Yeah, Tara, you still in the live? What's everybody up to today then? Then we got Putin and China in middle laughing at a lot of us. Yeah, I know. Oh goodness. It just gets a bit kind of chaotic in here sometimes. Hello, GH. Oh, here we go. Yeah, also, yeah, so I'm getting so many troll accounts lately, but it is what it is. That's what we get sometimes. Some people just want to be edgy and try and F about. Hi, Cara. Hello, Pamela. How's it going, everybody? Yeah. I'm just going to stand up for a second. I just like to kind of stretch out, just kind of. Oh, yeah. Have you ever like sat on like a couch for like hours and hours and then sometimes you just need to stretch out? Hello, Pamela. Hello, Trez. Thank you for the likes. How are you doing today? Neo says, yeah, no, the internet is the internet. Yeah, no. Celia ain't going nowhere, just multitasking with the toddler. Oh, yeah, because they say about women and multitasking in it. One of the pros to being a woman, supposedly. So, yeah, just, anyway. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. We've got to 4.12K now, so we're growing. We're growing the channel, so that's good. Yeah, we're gonna get big. Everyone just chasing their next dopamine hit anyway they can get it. This is the thing. This is why I find that humanity is kind of like cursed in a way because a lot of us will just kind of become corrupted if it means we can get the dopamine hit. I'm not saying everyone's like that, but a lot of people will, if they get offered money or fame or whatever, that some people will corrupt their morals. Hi, Wild Thing. Wild Thing! You make my heart sing. Remember that song, guys? You make everything. Wild Thing. You make my heart sing. You make everything. Doom scrolling got me here. Oh yeah, well that's I guess that's one of the good thing about doom scrolling, I guess, that you found me. Well, we replace social skills for electronic devices. True. A lot of people can't even socialize anymore. People become kind of weird and like robotic. I haven't been corrupted. Well, that's good then. Any lonely ladies in the chat? I've got one hell of a mullet and a killer mustache. Oh, really? Yeah. I don't know. They don't even. They're not even trying to get with me. So I don't know about you, but yeah, I just have to kind of like, yeah. I just keep on like, yeah, peacocking with my. Hello, Adriel. How you doing? What's up? I have ADHD, and any form of short form scroll stuff is my worst enemy. Oh yeah, it's like your kryptonite, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. It's just like it's not good for ADHD, is it? Really? Should be trying to encourage people to like have better attention spans and stuff like that. I've heard this thing about diet and how sugary foods and stuff like that make ADHD worse. I don't know how true that is, but apparently there was a 53% reduction in symptoms from following a more whole foods diet. So just look into that, guys. I'm not saying it's true, but hello, living in Kerala. How you doing? How you doing today, everybody? Hello, Alex. Pastor says, as long as women are attracted to whoever got the most power, there can never be equality. Yeah, that's true. It's like a lot of women will say, I want to look for a guy who's, earning more money. It's called hypergamy. So if they want equality, then they would want a man who's earning the same as them, you would think. But I don't know. But I'd argue that it's just a thing where when a man gets older, he's going to probably be earning more. So I guess it's that. So that's why a lot of them look for men that are a little bit older and more established, the ones that got it together more. Some say that some women will wait at the finishing line for a man who's already made it. It'd be good if you can get a woman who can like sort of build with you. You found a winner if you can get a woman who's like who will actually rise up with you rather than like wait at the finish line, because that means that they are a keeper if they'll do that. Reels are awful for my ADHD emotional roller coaster. Oh yeah, I've been seeing a lot of these like brain rot videos and stuff. I've been watching a channel called Brain Rot UK, I think. Or no, it was called British Brain Rot, and they were like these parody videos and stuff. But yeah, they're quite funny though. But they're like AI generated, but they're quite funny. They're quite relatable videos and stuff. But yeah, about like different shops and different businesses, and there was one on like estate agents and how bad they are and shit like that, and it's quite funny. And yeah, same reason men choose women for their looks. Yeah, that's the thing. So like, it's just yeah, it is unfair, but it's just I guess in a sense, like maybe you could say argue it's good if like it encourages people to try better. Like if it encourages people to, work on the looks more, but then you get the extreme of that, like the looks maxers who really do extreme things like getting surgeries and stuff like that, doing bone smashing to look better. That is ridiculous. Thank you for the follow, Joy. Has anyone heard about that stuff? Like people like Clavicular, for example, doing bone smashing to try and look better. Like, is there any need for that? Like you have to be some kind of insecure to need to do that to your face. Now, it might be where he lives. I think if I remember, he lives in Miami. If you live in Miami, you've probably got quite a skewed perspective of things because of the environment around you. Hey, Jamie, I'm okay. I built with my husband and he dumped me after 13 years after he found his dream girl. Oh, sorry to hear about that. Yeah, that is rough, but like, yeah, just it's one of those things that yeah can be quite risky, but yeah, that's a shame. You should always try and find someone that would be like their first choice. Never get with somebody who is like would be like a kind of second choice, like a kind of backup. Never be the backup person of somebody. Let's say somebody rejected them and then they got with you instead. Never be that person because they'll never really have the love and respect for you because they'll always be thinking about, oh, what if I did get with that person? And they're going to just see you as like the kind of, backup option. Never be that person, I would say. I know it can be hard because, you know, but you have to be whoever you're with, you have to be that person's first. You have to be that person's most special basically. But yeah, women don't necessarily chase power, they chase competence. What do you mean? Obviously that's kind of like a generalization, but I mean we can't generalize everybody. I used to be his first choice. He courted me for 2 years before I agreed to be his GF. Oh, really? How would you court somebody that before for like 2 years before becoming a GF? That's a long time to kind of, I don't know. It is sad that majority or everyone bases everything off looks and your job title. I've been with my husband since he had not. Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's good to, to be supportive and not base everything because it's like people will judge someone based on, oh, you don't have a job or something like that. It's like, well, why are we judging people on these things? Like, you know, someone could be like unemployed even and be a good person. Like people are so judgmental. It's like, oh, what do you do? What do you do for a living? Like they're trying to just make a snap judgment of somebody. It's like when people judge someone based on first impression. They say you've got like 10 seconds or whatever it is that someone will judge you in that amount of time, and that's not really fair, is it? Because you might be having a bad day and you might not be showing your best self, and people can just judge you based on these things. Hello, Cara. How you doing? Yeah. He was obsessed. Yeah, it's just I don't know. So, yeah, what's that? No, they aren't keen enough to chase competence. They can only chase perceived power. I mean, like I said, everybody's different, but there are some really kind of materialistic ones out there who are very that much about trying to show their, kind of, oh, look at me, I've got this trophy husband. Then you've got the men who are like, some of them are like, oh, look at me, I've got this trophy wife. It can happen a lot on both sides where they're not with somebody because they love them. They're with them because of the kind of sense of prestige or whatever it gives them or some kind of status. Hello, Stephen. How you doing? Civilians and under the Fourth and Fifth Amendments, every person, including the woman who was tragically shot, had the legal right to protection from unlawful lawful seizure and use of force. What are you saying that in regards to? Like, hello, Tico. Why can't you get a girl? I just don't really kind of prioritize it that much. I guess I'm just kind of. I mean, if I was going out and meeting a lot of people, I guess I maybe would, but that's just my own fault, I guess. But. I also think some women ruin their chances themselves because they have these high expectations of things, and when they don't get what they want, they talk down to the man, and the man is the one who protects you. Yeah, exactly. The thing is, they should never like be disrespectful. And the same with men. Men are I can't like obviously let men off the hook as well. Sometimes men do bad things as well. We have to be careful not to just kind of talk about one gender here because sometimes men can be like leading people on and then making them think that doing the love bombing stuff and things like that just to end up like manipulating them and into like controlling them and things like that. And yeah, yeah, anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. So, Melinda, how you doing? Alex says she played the game and found out nothing tragic about it. What's your alternative? What do you mean? She drove an officer and got shot. Oh, blimey, that is bad. That. Yeah, it's a lot of like you get this police brutality stuff, and it's really like in America, it's really bad. Fifey said, "Okay, what's that? Why did the little boy drop his ice cream cone because he was hit by a car? What the hell? That is kind of dark. Let everyone in become a okay. What are you saying? What are you trying to say, Alex? Are you talking about the immigration stuff, or what do you mean? I don't know what we're talking about here, but I kind of lost what you're referring to here, really. So anyway, um, yeah, okay, Fifey, that is a bit dark, isn't it? Right. Jenny, have a good day. Be safe in the UK. Yeah, you take care. We are Charlie Kirk. I guess you're a Charlie Kirk fan or something. People complaining about what's this ice thing? I don't know what this ice thing is. I don't know what it even is. Someone mentioned it the other day. Oh, immigration patrols. I don't know. I mean, Hello, Bub. How you doing? Hope you're well today. Yeah, Tara, are you still there? Gone kind of quiet. So yeah, just said they were saying about multitasking and stuff. So anyway, yeah, is everyone doing all right then? Hope you're having a great day. Share this out if you can. That would be really appreciated. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. Okay, maybe we can just kind of, yeah, not say that in here. Okay. Just got to be careful about certain people can find certain things offensive. So, anyway, we don't know who's watching. So, yeah. Welcome in, everybody. How are you doing today? Hope everyone's well. I don't know what this ICE thing is. Although, what's that? They complain about them doing their jobs, but the alternative is let in undocumented criminals then cry when Americans get killed by them. That makes no sense to me. What do you mean? What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that, like, I don't know. I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. Um, who's complaining? What are you talking about? You talking about Americans or what? I'm not quite sure because it's like, oh, immigration control enforcement. All right. ICE are deporting people that have lived in the US for over 50 years and never harmed anyone. Well, that's fucked up, isn't it? I mean, I don't agree with stuff like that. I mean, if you're living here, living in a country and you've been there for a long time and you've done nothing wrong, there's no reason to get rid of you. But in this country, you've got like illegals coming in who are being allowed to stay. Now, some might say, "Oh, but they're fleeing war-torn countries and stuff like that, and persecution and whatever." Now, someone was saying that last night. Hello, Ayush, bro. I mean, whether that's true or not, I just feel like we need to take care of our own issues first. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that personally. I think that we should be trying to care for our own people first. Like, there's people that are literally living on the streets that are like really poor and stuff like that. But yet we seem to be caring more about the people coming in. I don't know. It's just, yeah. Thank you for the gift, Julie. Nice one. Thank you very much. One Jack Paul. How you doing? So it's just one of those things. It's like, everyone's got their own opinion and all that. But I just feel like it's kind of like an insult to the British people to, like, where you're kind of caring more about people coming in here who are, illegals, and that they're not really allowed here. But so it's like they're going from country to country for some reason. It's like they'll come from France or whatever, and they'll come from, like they've been, I don't know what's going on, but are they all fleeing persecution? I mean, because that might be what they want us to believe or something. I don't know, because some suggesting most of them are actually economic migrants and they're just trying to come over for the benefits of this country. I mean, it's exactly the same in America, bro. That's why I don't understand them. If they're illegal, they should go. But they protest against it in America, then complain and protest when an illegal kills. What are you trying to? What do you mean? Well, shouldn't they be protesting if an illegal kills then or something? Or I think that anyone killing is bad, but you know what I mean. It's I don't know what's going on with that, Ayush. I don't know anything about that. Yeah, I hope you're having a great day today. Anyway, people, share this out if you can. That'd be really appreciated. If you have got any questions, yeah, put them in the chat. Anyway, so they protest for the illegal. What do you mean that they protest for the illegals to stay, or what do you mean? I don't understand. Like, so I'm gonna have a look and see what it says on the AI thing. What percentage of illegal immigrants are like basically what they call refugees or something? UK. So, because that's what they say, the refugees are fleeing from like war-torn countries and things like that. Um, so basically, saying that what is it? 1.5% of people are unaligned in UK. What do you mean? What do you mean unaligned? What are you saying? I don't know what you mean. 1.5% of people are unaligned, unalived. Really? That is that can't be right. You can't have a 1.5% unalived daily. That would be impossible. Hello, Big Terry. How you doing? Hello, Oliver. Oh, I don't know. No. Lucky man, Lucky Chan. Hi, how you doing? Welcome in. Oh yeah, everyone's saying about Zelensky. I used to get a lot of people saying about Harry Kane and Carl Frotz. I mean, I've 1.5 people per day. All right. Are you saying about that's the actual numbers of people unalived in total, or is that people unalived by those people? I thought it would be more than 1.5 in total, but what's that? All of them? Let's have a look. How many people unalived daily UK question mark. I mean, let's see. Well, you're talking about like, yeah, like homicide. Well, this is quite a thing. It said in 2023 there was an average of 19 self deletions registered daily across the UK. So the thing is, according to that, that's a bigger issue than homicide, actually. So maybe we should be talking more about the people unaliving themselves, because according to this, 7,055 deaths officially registered as um, unaliving themselves a year. So that is just in the UK. So I think the mental health stuff is important to talk about, and why is it that these things are happening in the first place, and what can we do about it? I don't know, Tara. It's just a lot of people are just saying, and I'm just because of the algorithms and stuff like that. Hello, Minor Maze. How you doing? Hope you're doing well today. Fresh Prince, how you doing? Fresh Prince of Bellend. Being here for a minute and I don't understand shit. Okay, well, what do you want me to? Yeah, civilians are under the Fourth and Fifth Amendments. Every person, including the woman. Yeah, you just mentioned that before. What's ridiculous? You're on about the whole. I don't know. Maybe I can say it. It just gets weird, like Orwellian, when you start to self censor. Hi, Looney. Yeah, that. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. You stuffed. I don't know. It's just maybe not the best camera, but anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, hope you're having a great day, people. Share this out. Can one Jack Paul says, yeah, system. Well, we're talking about the unaliving thing, and like, and 19 deaths a day from it, which is quite a concerning number to say the least. That's just in the UK. Worldwide, we're talking like thousands. So when people talk about, oh, mental health is an illusion, or it doesn't, when people say it's really ignorant things about mental health and they try to downplay it, well, what about all these unalivings? It's like, that people unalive themselves primarily down to some kind of mental health thing, whether something's happened or whether it's anonymous says I have bipolar. Yeah, it's just there's not a lot of infrastructure to deal with it. It's UK is a joke. Yeah, it's just like basically UK is just I don't know. It's sad to see how things have become really. Like I don't know, I guess it's just modernity, a lot of it, and a lot of it's the people. It's not the country itself per se, it's the people that make the country, like the miserable kind of a sin people and complain about Trump all they want. He gets the job done right or wrong, he gets it done. Well, I don't really, it's just, is he really that good? I mean, Jack Newman, I mean, I do the impressions of him. I'm just kind of, I don't really have any kind of feelings toward him, like, as in, not in like that way, but you know what I mean? As in, like, well, I don't despise him, but I don't like him kind of thing. I don't really care that much, to be honest. Hello, hi, Barry. Obviously, I'm not in America, but like, but from what I see with this Keir Starmer, he's just a wanker, and he's just, you know what I mean? He's Looney said, "I just want a Yorkshire pudding," and oh god, the hell. Can we talk about something else? What do you want to talk about, Fresh Prince? Jack Newman, hello. Think the UK is alone. The world country is on fire now. What are you saying? I don't get what you're saying, but anyway. But what's going on with this whole Venezuela thing with Trump? Is that some like that is woke propaganda? Is a radical left trying to spin a narrative? The CNN and MSNBC, they're all lying, and they don't want to make me look good. They want to make me look really bad. They make me look terrible. They make me look like an evil monster. Yeah, yeah. The digital, you're on about the whole digital ID and all that stuff. Hello, Seg. How you doing? I hope you're well. Welcome to my live. What's occurring? I don't think it should be acceptable to just say that certain groups of people don't deserve human rights. Well, yeah, I agree. Cargo crew, hello. The UK always had a tacit understanding pro-Islam is okay. I mean, I don't know. It's like people can. Well, the way I see it is that people can, sort of practice their religion as long as it's not hurting anybody else. As long as they're not trying to force anybody into their religion and like coerce or anything like that, then I have no problem with it. As long as they respect the country, as long as they respect the laws and stuff like that, it does what you're saying, Anonymous. I mean, if a certain religion is telling people to go and force it on other people, then I would be against that religion because that religion is then becoming. So this is going to be a controversial one because let's say, for example, you're a Christian, and let's say you don't believe in gay marriage, right? And you are a pastor, whatever, you're a church, whatever, you're a priest or whatever. You do certain, like, say, you're a vicar, what you're one of these, at the church, right? You do weddings and stuff like that. And what if you don't agree with that stuff then and you have to do it anyway, then is that really right? Do you think? What do you think, guys? Hello, official carrier. Just wondering what you guys think. Should they have the right to decline that because that's not their religion, they don't agree with that? Now that doesn't mean they can't get married. It's just that that church should that church have to, give that service if they don't believe in it. They could just get married somewhere else, I guess. You could argue. Just wondering what you guys think about that. I'm not against gay people getting married. I'm just talking about like the kind of Neil says no. No what? What are you saying, guys? What is your thoughts on that? Because this is a more kind of like you could say like a libertarian kind of view of things, I guess. Um, what doesn't side with in Islam? What are you saying? So like what's this? The UK is two-faced snake. It is total monarchy lovers, and they are deceptively pro-Islam. They usurp the wealth. Now they want to preserve it. Sorry that, but that's the truth. Who preserves wealth? You know about the monarchy or something? I mean, the monarchy are just like basically like beggars, aren't they? What's a huge psyop? Um, so why are they bastardized church into accepting something it forbids? Yeah, no, it's just like you would think that like you would. I mean, I get that people want to do like let's say with like gay marriage and stuff, and some people believe in that. But then, what about the religions that don't believe in that? Should they have to like give a service that they don't want to do? They feel kind of coerced into doing that because it's becomes a law where they have to kind of give that service. I don't know. It's this kind of more, from more of a libertarian perspective of like, you know, that if you don't want to do something that's against your beliefs, then you don't have to do it. You're not harming anybody by doing that. It's just that because if they want to do that, they can just find someone else that's willing to do that kind of thing. No, they shouldn't, yet they do, or they are bigots. Who's a bigot? Are you on about the church system or something? Um, it is not like 2000 no more, right? I like INFJ. I'm just talking about like some of the religious people don't believe in it. Now, like I said, I'm not a anti-gay marriage, all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about just in terms of you follow a certain religion, like Christianity, for example, and now you're being told that you have to provide the service of gay marriage, even though it disagrees with your religion. So I don't know. It's like, yeah, just now I think that if your religion is against being gay, then I don't think that is good, personally. And I just think that is backwards, and it's sort of like you could say that that's a bigoted belief or something. And you could, yeah. So it's just anyway. How you doing, INFJ? I've got my thing here. Don't get why the UK citizen don't have the free will to fight against the government. Yeah, it's just like you've got friggin' Keir Starmer just thinking he can do whatever he wants, and like just kind of trying to put through all these laws that we didn't even agree to. Um, Yeah, yeah. Do they make Muslims perform gay marriages? I don't know. I don't know what happens with all that. You'd have to find out about that. The rules that are banning homosexuality weren't written by God. They were written by humans a few thousand years ago, and they were probably racist too. Yeah, probably. Um, it's a slippery slope because all religion is submission and control. Yeah, I agree. Because it's like yeah, who's to say that God is against gay people? I mean, if some people are naturally going to be gay, then why is that a sin in religion? But then they'll try and make out like, oh, they're not actually gay or something like that. That it's blah blah blah. But some people are just naturally that way inclined. I find some people like there's some guys that are naturally a bit more. So especially the more kind of like effeminate ones are naturally that way that might naturally gravitate more towards being homosexual. So then, did God make a mistake there? That is according to these people. I mean, it just doesn't really make sense. It's like, for example, when you've got, and this is going to get controversial now, but like when these Muslim people, right, who believe in circumcision, also Judaism, I think they believe in that as well. Why would you need to circumcise yourself? Why would God give you a bit of your body to have to get rid of it? Think about that for a second. I don't understand it. There's too many contradictions in a book that was written by a man, a human. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like they just didn't really think it through. It's almost like they were drunk when they were writing it. They didn't really think it through properly because there's just so much that doesn't even make any sense. I guess they didn't really care that it made sense. They just wanted to please the King James, didn't they? So they wrote the King James Bible to try and give it to him so he could, to kind of control his population. But anyway, but what I'm saying is that why would you be given a bit at the end of your Johnson to have it cut off? Why didn't God just like not have it there in the first place if it's not meant to be there? I think religious rules are okay as long as you're not affecting people who don't want to be part of religion. Well, yeah, exactly. That's the thing, right? Um, King James didn't write shit. I didn't say he did. I was saying it was written for King James, wasn't it? Something. If you want to sin, just say that. Hmm. Hello, Hassan. How are you doing? I hope you're well. Welcome in here. Nice to meet you all. Share this out if you can, everybody. Subscribe if you're new. That would be really appreciated. So I'll be on for about, 20 more minutes, something like that. But I enjoy the conversations and stuff. I appreciate you all hanging out and stuff. I heard that King James was a weird sex for it, oh, really? So what is your thoughts on all like the religion stuff? Saying it's about control and all that, and do you believe in Caitlin talking to? Do you actually believe in a God or any other beings? Saying like, why does God create all this stuff? Why does God, allow all this suffering? Going back to that, why would you, as a living creator, allow people to be, kind of in, say, like, pain and stuff like that for long periods? And like, what is the point of all that? Now, yeah, pain is like a natural thing to kind of warn you about things. Like, say, for example, you cut yourself, you wound yourself. It's a signal to be like, I'm in pain and I need to be careful because this is deadly or something. Like, let's say you drop from a height and you feel pain, you hit the floor from like 10 foot up or 20 foot up or whatever. You're like, oh shit, I shouldn't do that because it's dangerous, right? So, like, it's a way of teaching us to be, safe, basically. And but what is the point in having people go through agony, like, you know? And there is certain ways that people can deal with it. Like some people take certain painkillers and things like that. But it's like, why should people have to be doing that? It just, I don't know. Like, why are people being? And it's like, it's just a mess, really. I don't know, but thank you for the like star. Why does God want your money? Why do people have to pay things? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, God doesn't need your money, does he? It's the what do they call them? Whoever runs the church. It's just like a cult, isn't it, really? For all we know, they might not even believe in any of that shit, and they're just using it as a business. It's a business to them when they're driving around in Bentleys and having people below them just kind of, yeah. I was actually watching this video. Has anyone ever seen Ray William Johnson? It was like one of these true crime things where some guy like pretended to be some church guy so that he could like swindle people out of money. He was trying to get people to invest in something where he was pretending to be some kind of philanthropist or something, and like that he was going to use all this money to like do good in the world and to invest in that, but it was all BS. I mean, yeah, yeah. Why do we pay it? Oh yeah, no, it's kind of effed up, isn't it, Jack? There's a lot of just tax money going to like corruption and greed and all that. Hello, Amy Louise. How you doing today? Hope everyone's doing well. Share the live out if you can, please. That would be really appreciated. Catalina, how you doing today? I hope you're well. Yeah, there's just so many questions I have about things. I'm like, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why is it that we don't have free food everywhere? Why don't we have fruit trees everywhere? Why isn't there like vegetable gardens everywhere? Yeah, there's some now. They're trying a bit, but like there should be free food for everybody, right? Food grows out the earth. Food grows on trees. It should be available for everybody. Hello, Flora. How you doing? Hope you're well. Hassan says, I'm going to Lockheed Martin and oh really? What's that? Elbit Systems. Oh really? Thank you for liking. How many likes are we on now, guys? Yeah. Money can be for homeless. Yeah, no. But like the thing is the fact that we even need money in the first place. Hello, Joshua, especially in this day and age, why have we not gone past that? Thank you for the like, Sean. Why haven't we gone past that? Like, why isn't everybody's basic needs met just by kind of having say like things like food just kind of readily available. The area between cult and religion is a very gray area, right? Yeah, they're pretty much one and the same as far as I can tell. Thank you for like trying. So you get things like Scientology. I mean, is that a religion or is it a cult or both? I mean, what's the difference? You know? Refugees get free food. Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's why people are kind of it's like, why is it that they're getting that? And then it's like, but then there's people in this country that are going to like food banks, people working hard, and yet they're going to food banks just to try and get by, because they've got families and they're struggling and they're going to food banks to get food. It's not fair, really, is it? Sometimes I go online and tell kids to believe nothing created us in this extremely organized universe to feel better about myself because God won't show himself to me. I need to see him first. Yeah. It's like if I don't see God, then I'm like, why would I believe it? Show me proof that you're there. Like if he shows me something that's supernatural, then I'm more inclined to believe it. Lots of love from Kenya. Oh, thank you. Hello, the Shuriken Zone. It's important to make a distinction between the church and a church. The church doesn't require money. Strictly speaking, a church does because it is a building that offers amenities they cost. I mean, I get that, but it's like, yeah, I mean, it's just as long as it's not going to some greedy, kind of capitalist, if you will. I mean, I know that word can be a bit kind of, what I mean? Hello, Rayan Alpha. How you doing? What do you think about Muslims in the UK? I mean, there's good ones, and then there's like, I feel like some that are just not integrating properly. But yeah, obviously everyone's got their own opinion. Some people use money for drugs, which is always happening. Yeah, that's the thing with the homeless people, and that's why a lot of people don't want to like support them. It might be best if you want to support the homeless people, buy them food and make sure they eat it, okay? Because if you buy them food and then they don't eat it, then they might actually sell it and then get money for it. So you got to be careful about that. Hi, okay, yeah, so divine intervention. Yeah, if something like that happened where I could see some kind of thing happen that is just that science cannot explain, then okay. Like if say like the river suddenly turned red or something like that, then yeah, okay, that's kind of like supernatural. Or if suddenly something moved without me touching it, like if suddenly like this thing that I'm recording on right now just suddenly just went and flying. I'm like, well, there is no explanation for that scientifically. So if I could see something like that, then I'd be like, oh, okay, there is something supernatural going on. You know, you must understand how perfectly organized this entire universe is. I mean, in a multiverse theory, that everything that can happen will happen. So it may seem that way, but that's the argument from like the multiverse theory that there's infinite possibilities. So in one universe, it's going to be like seemingly perfect, if you get me, like in terms of like Goldilocks zone and all that. I've seen people like this; they would play an instrument or sing for money. Yeah, I've done that. Yeah, this timeline ain't organized. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, to be honest, it feels kind of like chaotic. It feels to me too chaotic to feel like a designer. I don't know. Like, there's a lot about this reality that just doesn't really feel like there's an all-loving creator, and that they're just I don't know. But like I said, everyone's got their own opinions on this. You know what I mean? It's yeah. Anyway, I do this with everyone except close friends. And by the way, I am a Muslim. Okay, fair enough. Free healthcare with sky high taxes is stupid. What are you saying that that it's not free healthcare, is it? When you got to pay like something for that, like nothing's free, is it really? I've experienced supernatural things, but it's never come from a sky daddy or a big MLNVE. Experienced supernatural things, but it's never come from a sky daddy law. So what you're saying, it's more like paranormal experiences. Like, have you ever experienced things that could be like ghosts or something like that? I remember my dad was saying something like he don't believe in ghosts because he feels like it would be a much bigger phenomenon if it was actually true. So what do you think about that? Like my dad was saying, if there was really ghosts, then wouldn't people be like seeing it everywhere and it'd be like this very prevalent thing? Whereas you get a few people with kind of like superstitious kind of like predisposition or something. I don't know. It's like some people you could say are more predisposed to being kind of superstitious and reading into things a lot. And I don't know. I'm not saying that you're doing that, but that's what the deniers will say. I mean, I was looking at this thing on like crop circles, and it seemed kind of compelling. I mean, I know there's some that can be explained away by somebody actually made some of them, but like I've heard there's some of them that are actually that seem quite sort of like something else has made it, like something either beyond our kind of, you know, maybe it's aliens, who knows, or maybe it's some kind of supernatural phenomenon, or we don't know, but there was something with an orb that was going around it or something. What was that orb? Was that something of some kind of other entity, or was it some kind of I mean, there's some weird things that happen in this world, but yeah, a lot of people are walking around with blinders on and don't concentrate on the little things that are going on that are around them and miss a lot of things that aren't necessarily normal. Yeah, I suppose. Like there is some like, oh yeah, Neo, take care, have a good day, see you later. I don't want to, I'm human. Not really. Anyway, hi, Tara. Yes, Tara's still there. So basically, yeah. So like, hello, Simetrons. How you doing? I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. I haven't. Oh yeah, you've invested in Bitcoin. Oh really? Anyway, so Louise, how's it going today? I think your life and existing is supernatural, and the more I read and search about the universe, the more I believe there is God. One thing I do find quite crazy is when you look at the sun and moon, they both appear to be about the same size in the sky, which seems almost like a miracle. So that is one thing that does make me kind of scratch my head and think, wow, that is crazy. When you see like a total solar eclipse. I mean, I remember I once saw a solar eclipse. It was about 90%. It wasn't quite. It actually ended up going a little bit dark. I remember when I saw it. That was yeah. To question God and the supernatural may be the most divine acts humanity is capable of. Right. Okay. I don't know whether I agree with that, but yeah, mind gymnastics, the absence of evidence doesn't mean something doesn't exist. Yeah, I agree. Like, yeah, they say absence of evidence. So then someone could argue, so, well, maybe Loch Ness Monster does exist. Just because there's no evidence of it doesn't mean that Loch Ness Monster doesn't exist. Because it's like you can't prove a negative claim necessarily, can you? It's like yeah. Yeah. Does anyone believe in Loch Ness Monster then? Hey, no, hey, Ness is real. You got that, pal? If you're saying that Ness isn't real, then you're out of your mind. You got that, pal? Anyway, is everybody okay? But I do agree, but it's like, yeah. But there's a thing called Occam's razor. Have you heard that theory? Like basically, it's the thing where it's like the simplest explanation that requires the least amount of assumptions is usually the correct one. So in terms of like, so if we're talking about things like religion and stuff like that, or if we're just talking about God and creators and stuff like that, we have to look at like different sides of okay, which one invokes the most amount of assumptions, then chances are that one isn't true. And the one that is the least amount of assumptions most likely is correct. So yeah, Occam's razor. Have you heard of that before? An atheist versus believer is upon the believer to prove that God exists, right? Yeah, if you're trying to like prove something exists, then the burden of proof is on you. The burden of proof is on the claimant. So if you're claiming that God exists, then you must prove that it does, right? Otherwise, when they do, oh, you just have to have faith. Well, that's not good enough, you know. If you, well, but then they'll say stuff like, oh, well, it has to be a creator because of how perfectly designed it all is, and but that is just a kind of subjective feeling about things, I guess. It doesn't actually prove anything. It's just like to prove that there's a creator, then you would have to actually like see something that like kind of irrefutably proves that. Now, so the question is, what would actually constitute proof of that? What what would prove that God exists? I suppose it would be very difficult to do. I guess, and express him, you would have more proof as a theist. How would you? Can you congratulate my girlfriend? She had it first. Oh God. Right, I'm gonna just get rid of this shit. Okay. Right. Anyway, so like, yeah. So burden of proof, and yeah. So they say burden of proof is on the claimant. So if you're claiming that God exists, then you should be able to prove that. But then, if you can't prove that, then you can't say you should know for sure that God exists. But a lot of them will act as though they know it, and it isn't just a belief. If you're going to say it's just a belief, then okay, fair enough. But if you're going to act like you know for sure that God exists, then yeah, how would you convince an atheist? It's very difficult. Rather, convincing your God is authentic is still easier, lol. Well, if you can't convince somebody of your religion, then maybe you should question that your religion is actually real, because if it was so self-evident, you shouldn't even need to convince anybody, really, should you? If it's so obvious and that there's this creator, then why would you need to convince anybody, is what I would think, you know? I don't know, that's just what I would think anyway, but everyone's got their own opinions and stuff, so yeah. Hello, Jane. How you doing? The universe is way too well put together for there not to be a creator. Hello, Iron Women. How you doing? But that's just an assumption. That's just like how you feel about the universe. I mean, maybe it's just through kind of evolution and kind of things evolve and become more complex over time. Like from the Big Bang, that's what they believe, that, things started to kind of form together and start creating planets, it's just hello, Jody. How you doing from Canada? Nice to meet you, Jody. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here. Hello, Chris. How you doing? Um, again, you said that something science can explain would strike you as supernatural. I'm assuming you didn't really mean that, right? Who are you talking to? Just because science can't explain everything, does that mean that God created it? You know? Like, how do we know it's not just nature? How does how do we know that God created the Big Bang, for example, or whatever? Hello, Big Tyrone. How you doing? I live I live next door to me. Anyway, welcome in everybody. Hope you've had a great day. Uh, yeah, share this out if you can, please. That'd be really appreciated. Hello, Carol. Good to see you again. That brings me to a question: are you atheist? I would say that I'm not atheist or theist. I mean, for all we know, we could be in some kind of computer simulation or something else. I mean, I'm just not a dogmatist and kind of hold to any kind of belief. Like I've had kind of different kind of like thoughts in the past about God and stuff. And um, do you eat crumpets? No, I don't. Why? Hello, Varad. How you doing? I'm from the UK. Where you from? Who created the Big Bang then, or would you say it just happened? Well, why couldn't it have just happened? I don't know. But then you could argue if there was nobody around to see it, then did it actually happen? It's like the whole thing of if a tree falls over in a forest and nobody's around to hear it, did it make a sound? But I'd go even further and say, did it even happen if no one was around to see it? Because what even is this reality anyway? Because it seems as though this reality requires an observer to validate it. Like even some people don't even agree on colors, even and stuff like that. What even is red? What even is blue? We couldn't explain these things, could we? If we're going to get deep on that and hello, Emily, get really philosophical about it. What even is a color? How could you explain that to a blind person who was born blind? They're never going to have any concept of that. Trying to explain what a color is, you know, what's past the Arctic Circle? Who knows? I mean, do you think there's something beyond there? Some people believe there's something going on in Antarctica, like some kind of cryptids or something like that. I mean, it seems there's some secret shit going on in Antarctica, whether it's some military or something else that, like, they're trying to, like, hide things from us. It's like who knows what's going on really, but color is a social construct. Yeah, but it's like in terms of the subjective experience of what a color is, you can't explain that to someone who's born blind, can you? So how do we know there's not more senses beyond what we can even comprehend because we haven't experienced them? So like, it's like the brain can only, sort of, kind of like have a concept of what it's experienced. So yeah, we have certain receptors for certain senses, but our brains only have a limited capacity. But other species may have other senses that we can't even comprehend. So what I'm saying is the reality could be far beyond whatever we can comprehend, and so I try to keep an open mind because I don't understand everything, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's this biblical creator, but it also doesn't mean there isn't one either. It's just I like to challenge everything, question what we are. Let's think about things like this. So yeah, um, Provado art, how you doing? Hang on a sec. Right, just get rid of these people. GTA 5 is a simulation. Yeah, but then who's to say that this reality isn't a simulation as well? Because it all just sometimes I'm thinking like when you're in a dream and it feels real, but then this reality could be a dream as well. So all of this reality could just all be a dream. Like we could be in some kind of like advanced dream of some kind. There could be levels to this shit. I was thinking about it could be a dream within a dream, right? Like what if the dream we have is just like it's almost like a Russian doll of like where it's like a dream within a dream within a dream. That sounds a bit like Inception kind of thing, but like but what if that's reality though? So who created the dream, I guess, and maybe it's just in somebody else's mind Maybe I'm in somebody else's mind right now and I'm just dreaming. Hello, Millard. How you doing? What if I'm just dreaming? What if this is all just we have the spirit world, our home world, and this world? Yeah. Well, some say that we come into this world willingly and we have a certain experience to grow or something like that. That we learn suffering, we learn all these different experiences in this world because we would get bored of all the I don't know. There's all kinds of theories out there, but they can go around in circles. Hello, Galaxy. All right. Yeah. No, I live in York, but I'm originally from Blackburn. So yeah. Hope you've all had a good day, everybody. Share this out if you can. That'd be really appreciated. I won't be getting off in a minute though. I got stuff to do and all that. Tap your screens, everybody. Yeah. Okay, can we just like be serious here, guys? I don't know, but anyway. People trying to be edgy, it's like it's just kind of cringe to me. But whatever. Anyway. Inserts time by Hans Zimmer. What's that? I don't know. Anyway. Is everybody okay? Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah. So I should be back on later at some point. If you have any more questions, now's your time to put it in the chat. Okay, take care, Tara. See you again soon. Right, who's still in here then? Yeah. Again, thanks to the person who gifted a membership out. Yeah, thank you, Tara. Oh, Inception's theme song, right. Yeah, I've not actually seen the film, but I just heard what it's about. I should probably watch it, to be fair. Like I said, I'm not really big into watching films. It's hard for me to really commit myself to watching a lot of films. I like to watch recaps and stuff like that and just watch all the best bits, but yeah. Someone don't like that I made an AI video or something. I don't know. I guess I just kind of like put out a few random AI bits, but I don't think there's anything wrong with just putting a few AI videos out. I mean, come on. It ain't that deep, it's just don't, I don't know really. I don't know why they were that bothered about it. I know AI can be a bit kind of annoying and whatever, but I'm just kind of having a bit of fun with it, just yeah. It's just easy to get certain ideas out into a video with AI and stuff. Okay, thank you. Yeah, just I have to go in a sec, but yeah. Any more questions, everybody? Yeah, it seems like most people have gone now. All right. It's gone quiet in the live, so yeah, let's have a drink. Yeah. Don't seem to be much going on TikTok. Apparently there's 10 people there, but where are they all? Not is those lurkers or are they just bots or something? Seems like there's a lot of bots not saying anything. I don't know, but it is what it is. Hello, Sar Hussein. How you doing? Hope you're well today. Thank you for joining me. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. That would be really appreciated. Yeah. Is everybody okay? Why did you time me out? I just left. I don't know. I don't know what you were saying, but people just kind of just start acting stupid, and then I'm like, yeah. Some people start saying shit that's like, that we can't really have in here. So anyway, like try not to say certain slurs and different things like that in the chat if that's what you was doing, because I was timing people out for things like that. Like, there's just no need to do that. Anyway, I've got to get going, guys. So I'll see you all later. Bye for now.